Hey y'all, welcome to today's video. In today's video, I'll be discussing why 2022 will, yes, obviously be a red wave, but why it will be such a, ridiculously large wave. And what we could see with this wave. So getting started, obviously this is based off of the elections from last night. The Virginia one has been called. I think they've both been called. I think the Virginia one might have 100% of the vote, and I'm not certain. Let me go check that. More than 95, okay. Okay, yeah. So most of the vote is in, obviously Youngkin winning. And then in New Jersey, I think they called it for Murphy, but, Chitterelli did really, really well. I think he's still losing by less than 1%. The remaining vote will probably heavily favor Murphy. He'll probably get, like, a solid, of this, like, 10%. I would imagine that he gets, like, probably 50 or 60% of it. So he probably carries it by, like, 6 or 7%. But 6 or 7% in New Jersey is still, that's still real. Well, am I even doing my math correctly? If he carries 6% of, I think I'm doing it right. I'm not certain if I'm, like, good at math, but either way, it's probably, Murphy obviously wins it, probably wins it by a, like, really small margin for a state like New Jersey. In fact, we can give them a go look at 2020. 7% is, like, a lot less than what Biden won by in 2020. I think it was around, like, 16% or 17. I'm going to take a look at this. Yes, 15.8. So that's like a 7 or 8% shift to the left, or to the right. And that's with Chitterelli, who's not, as far as I'm aware, like, a phenomenal candidate. He's not, like, an amazing candidate. Glenn Youngkin won. He was an amazing candidate, yeah. He won this by a lean margin, like 2.5%. I mean, like, we might see, I don't know if his lead's going to increase or decrease with, like, the remaining vote, but 2.5% for a Republican in West Virginia, or in Virginia, is impressive. Like, it's really, really impressive. I'm interested to go see how much of the electorate that turned out voted for Biden, because that would be really interesting. I want to see, like, what the electorate was, because I think that could be really telling. If it's going to let me do this. Okay, so here we are. Biden plus 4, which is like a 6% shift to the right. And then Youngkin was a really, really strong candidate, and McAuliffe was a weak candidate. That's like a 6% shift to the right. We saw in New Jersey, obviously. In fact, actually, let's go look at this. Okay, you know what? I don't know if there are Virginia exit polls, but if we just do assume that it voted 6% to the right of, or if the electorate was only Biden plus what, 9, then Chitterelli was like a 2% stronger candidate in New Jersey than Trump, which is something. If the GOP keep on running candidates that are strong, that's something. But if it is 6% more favorable for Republicans than 2020 was, if the nation does vote 6% to the right of where it did in 2020, we can expect Nevada to go to the GOP by like a lean margin. I'm just going to label these safe. We can expect Arizona to go to the GOP. Georgia, we can expect to go to the GOP. New Hampshire, I think it'll be close, but obviously we can expect it to go to the GOP because of Chris Sununu. That's 54 seats for the GOP. I think that if Larry Hogan runs in Maryland, Biden is so unpopular that he probably wins. Colorado might get to a point where it's competitive. We might see a ridiculously favorable map for Republicans. I mean, it might be really, really favorable with Biden's unpopularity. If it's unpopular enough to the point where the electorate, I think Biden won by like what, 4.5%. If the electorate is if the electorate is Trump plus 1.5, like if Trump would have won the popular vote, that is like something. Like the GOP would flip the House, obviously, do very, very well in the Senate. They would do ridiculously well. If a Republican were to win the popular vote, then that's seriously saying something. So yeah, that's shown us a lot about probably what we should expect in 2022. Somewhere between like 6 and like 8% more favorable for Trump nationally than in 2020. I would think something around there. Um, which is probably around 1.5 to 3.5%, like R plus 1.5 to 3.5 nationally with like the popular vote, which is really, really saying something. So yeah, thank you guys so much for watching this video. If you enjoyed it, please leave a like below. Stay tuned for my next video. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Please comment your suggestions down below, and I hope to see you all in my next video. Bye!